दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Hi, very good evening, everyone. Welcome you all to our special edition of the Independent Franchisee Consultant webinar. Franchisee India is a 25-year-old company, and we are the largest franchising solution company. This is a unique business opportunity, which webinar we will be presenting here to understand the opportunities which we have in terms of joining as an independent franchisee consultant. In the panel, we have got our group chairman, Mr. Gaurav Maria sir, and we've got our managing director, Sonia Ma'am. And with our panel team members, we have got Mr. Amit, who is stationed out of Pune, and he handles our complete West India market. And we have got Mr. Sumir, who is stationed out of Chandigarh, and he handles up north market. We have got Mr. Kapil, who handles Tamil Nadu. We've got Santosh, who handles Delhi, North, and Rajasthan, and I'm Shaktivel. I handle Tamil Nadu and Kerala operations in terms of business model. Over to Sonia ma'am to take it forward.
Great. Thank you so much, Shakti, and friends, we welcome you all on today's webinar. There's a small presentation that we would run through you on what we have to offer today. But before that, I'll request Gaurav Maria, who's chairman of the company, to maybe put a perspective. And I would follow that by giving a little understanding about Franchise India Group at large, about the opportunity of IFC. Also, equally, we'll talk about the opportunity which is there existing in your city. And my request to all of you friends, we make the session interactive. There's a Q&A box that you see at the bottom of your screen. Any questions that you have, keep putting these questions at the bottom and we'll take all these questions live for you. So before I go further, I'll request Gaurav to start, and I'll take it up posting. Over to you, Gaurav.
Thank you, Sonia, and welcome friends, and welcome to this very, very interesting session. It's called the Independent Franchise Consultant. This is an invitation from Franchise India, which is the world's largest franchise consulting firm, to invite like-minded partners who would become consultants with us and work on helping entrepreneurs start their business journey. A lot of people who are looking to start a business come to Franchise India, and we help them in terms of making a very important decision of starting the business. So friends, I'll start with my introduction, and introduction on Franchise India, I'll leave it on Sonia to give it. I started my journey way back, about 30 years back, with telecom. So a very interesting journey, because I was in the right time, right place, and was able to build a successful telecom business. And then I ventured into many businesses, and some of them didn't perform. And I quickly realized that this is a real problem. This is a problem because a lot of people want to start their own business, but they don't have any good advice available for them. I mean, if you look at India, I mean, if you want to buy a property today, there are 1 million property brokers, and I want to set this perspective so you can understand where we're coming from. So there are 1 million, almost 10 lakh property brokers are there who would advise you what property you should invest on. It's still a passive investment, straightforward. And if you really want to invest into any financial product, which means that you want to invest into stock market, insurance, or any other product, then also you have almost about 500,000 people available in this country who would help you to invest into any kind of a financial product. But when you want to buy a business or start a business, there is no one. There is no company which can really advise you what is the right business for you, how you should really invest, what is the kind of risk you want to be taking in the business, and everything to do with the business. And this is what the problem which we really saw way back in 1999. And we felt that we should start a platform which can help people start their own business. So friends, you will be proud to know that we as an Indian company, we are the largest franchise advisory firm in the world. I'm today sitting in London. I work in different markets globally. There is no organization like Franchise India which advises people who are looking to start a business. And this we have done for the last 25 years, not only in markets like India, but we work with the GCC, Asian markets through Singapore, Malaysia, and also in Europe through our London offices. So friends, we today at Franchise India, we are very proud that we have a platform which does three things. One, help people to get started with the business, which means that if you are aspirational to start any active business, which means that you want to buy a business, you want to buy a franchise, you want to invest into a startup, any kind of investment which you want to do for starting a business, you can really come to Franchise India. That's one. Second, we help companies to scale. So any business model which can be scaled, we go to them and say, help you to go to your domestic expansion and also look at sometimes international expansion. Like what I'm doing today in London, I'm meeting a lot of companies out of this market. This is a great market. All world brands are built here, but it's small market. They all want to go to different markets, especially everybody is looking forward for India subcontinent and even the Asia piece of it, because the Asia is where the action is, and almost every company out of North America or Europe is looking for entering Asia. So we help companies scale their businesses. We have worked with micro enterprises. We have worked with early stage startups. We work with family businesses. We work with even large corporations in helping them scaling their business. That's the second part of our business. And third part of business is actually helping people to exit their business model. So this is what we do. So I will pass it to Sonia to give a little bit overview of Franchise India, and then I'll take it on from helping in terms of understanding and defining what is this opportunity of becoming independent franchise consultant and what is there for you and how we can really help you to become a seasoned consultant and run your own enterprise and run your own business as a consultant. So over to you, Sonia, for giving quick introduction on Franchise India.
Thank you, friends. I'll again start with saying that, Franchise India has been in the business for the last 25 odd years. We are a 25-year-old enterprise. We started our business with only one big vision, which, Gaurav talked about, and which is to make every Indian self-reliant, and entrepreneurship was the foundation of Franchise India. And democratization of entrepreneurship is the mission with us, which means that we want to make entrepreneurship accessible for everyone. When we look at words like entrepreneurship, startup, brands, these words have become today a part of our everyday vocabulary. But this was not the case when we started our company 25 years back. But you can imagine even then we had a very clear vision of what we want to achieve and how we wanted to achieve. So through the years, we have actually worked on this particular path so that we're able to create and also evolve our capabilities, at the company level, at Franchise India's level, to be able to add value and also expand the value proposition for the entire franchise community that we engage with. So at the group level, we are a fully integrated franchise solution company. And very humbly, I say that we are the largest franchise development and distribution company in the world. Our group creates a lot of intelligent synergies and the combined strength is leveraged by each of its group company. At the holding level, at the group level, we have interest in franchising, we have interest in licensing, real estate, mid-market M&A, and we also have presence in nearly 95 plus cities in India, along with our presence in international markets outside India. And we have positioned ourselves as an investor-centric, franchise-focused company. And as far as our group companies are concerned, we also run a very big media house, which reaches out to millions of business buyers through our physical events and also digitally through our platform, which is franchiseindia.com. And we do almost about 200, bigger shows every year, which includes the biggest of all, or I would say mother of all shows, which happens in Pragati Maidan every year, which brings almost about 45,000 business buyers across India and nearly 600 companies who come and exhibit their opportunity to business buyers. And this year we're doing the show in next month. We are about 36 days precisely to the show, 15th and 16th of July. And so that's what our media company does. We also run magazines, which includes one of the leading B2B magazines called Entrepreneur, which is the top 5 magazines in the world. We also run an industry magazine called Franchising World, which is the highest circulated and read magazine in the industry. The second part of a group company, also works with companies to make them franchise ready, because we understood if we have to work and expand the ecosystem, we need to have enough inventory of companies to work. And FranCorp, again, is a very strategic partnership between Franchise India and FranCorp US. It's an American company which has worked with some of the leading and iconic names in franchising. Brands like McDonald's, Hershey's, Hilton are some of the names which FranCorp globally in US has consulted in this space. We partnered with FranCorp more than about 16 years back, and FranCorp has consulted more than 8,000 companies in the last 16 odd years to get them into franchising for the very first time. And it specializes, in working with a lot of startup companies who come into franchising. And so I would also say that these are a number of companies that through FranCorp have seen the world of franchising for the very first time. The third part of a group company is a brokerage company, transaction as we call, because we have a huge system of companies, brands on one side who are looking at expansion and expanding their footprint. And on the other side, we have a big community of business buyers, investors, prospective entrepreneurs like yourself who want to buy a business. So this company not only engages with these two sides, but also takes a deal or a transaction between the two, where we take a mandate from a brand and we represent two investors. And on the other side, I work very closely with a very big investor community to be able to take an informed decision. We give them all the inputs and insights so that they're able to select an opportunity. And this part of the company does almost about 1,500, gross transaction value of business every year. So when I say 1,500 crores of gross transaction value of business or volume, this is the amount of capital that we raise from the market for the companies that give us a mandate, and for the investors who give us a mandate to find relevant business opportunities across franchising, distribution, and dealership. So the Franchise India, all in all, is also a trusted advisors to India's some of the most influential businesses and prospective business community. And this was always a latent need and also a very big gap in the market. And India being a shopkeeper nation, we have every home who has an aspiration of starting and owning a business at some point of time in their life. And we realized there was nobody, who could actually fill that gap of this big latent need. And hence, we started our company way back in 1999. As a prime mover of the franchise ecosystem, I would also say that we built a very strong equity, which with a very big, large community of business buyers, aspiring entrepreneurs who engage through all our platforms. They take advice before investing in a business opportunity. And we also offer a very strong value proposition to companies, franchisors, brands by offering a complete 360-degree solution, from making them franchise ready to expanding their footprint to also executing market entries of many international brands to the Indian market. We have done more than 470 such market entries in the last nearly 2 odd decades. So Franchise India, we play an important role of being a catalyst in the franchise ecosystem. And we also equally feel that our responsibility is to go beyond, to be able to educate companies on sustainable and responsible franchising, and also help investors to take an informed decision of buying a business. So one thing which I want to say before I give it back to Gaurav. We are present already in 96 cities. We have a big distribution already, but the opportunity is among us, right? And that is the reason with our 25 years of existence, there has never been a dearth of business. Even with our cities like Delhi and Bombay, and many cities like Hyderabad, where apart from my direct teams, I have a big network of franchise consultants, which are independent franchise consultants associated with us. I have never seen the business decreasing. Our business increases every time we have more distribution, more hands to work. So unlike other businesses that you would have seen, this business is all about, knowledge, which means that we need to have everyday learning attitude to be able to advise business buyers. It's a very responsible job that we are sitting on. And as a franchise consultant, we also carry a huge responsibility in helping a business buyer to take an informed decision, a right decision of buying a business, because he relies upon the information that we share. He's sitting on some savings in his life, which might be the entire saving he has, and he banks upon us to give him that information. So it looks like sometimes very difficult to bring accurate, or I would say absolute accuracy in terms of the right fitment of what is right for him. So we do a very holistic approach, which takes into consideration our ROI, how the industry is growing. And the biggest thing, why somebody comes, especially an investor comes and takes our advice, is because we as consultants also put a lot of emphasis on how do we work with them to reduce the risk on investment, which is a mix of a lot of things, which includes their CAPEX planning, OPEX forecast, competition analysis. And that's the reason I said, knowledge is the foundation of our business. And we always take a research-based approach so that we can bring in a non-biased approach. And consultants at Franchise India, they never base their recommendations on any personal preferences or their own experiences. So I'll request Gaurav to take over, and followed by that, we'll run you through a small presentation that will take you through what the opportunity of becoming a partner with us.
Sure, thanks. Friends, I will take you through a journey in terms of whenever you're looking for a new career or an opportunity, or like you all have joined in for understanding, can you become an independent franchise consultant? So if you would have come to us as any other entrepreneur who said, look, I'm looking and evaluating an opportunity, I would have taken you from these 4 steps. And exactly what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you with exactly those 4 steps. You can choose any opportunity in life, always do these 4 things. The first, understand the industry itself. What industry you're getting into, and is the industry growing? What would happen to this industry next 15, 20 years? What is the life of the opportunity? And so on and so forth. So we will talk about a little bit on the industry piece on that, which is franchising. So I'll get deeper into that. The second part is really to understand a little bit on the business model. What is the business model? Is this a real problem solving which is happening? Is it something which is continue to grow in times to come? And is it demand enough for you to participate in that? So that's the problem solving part of it. And then because you can choose any industry, but if you're not genuinely solving a big problem, you will not survive. And the third part is really to do your own fitment. There can be a great opportunity, but every opportunity is not suited to everyone. So are you really somebody who's cut out to be a consultant? That's a very important question. And I'll really raise some questions and say why you think you can be a good consultant. That's a third part. The fourth part is the reward and risk. Every opportunity comes with some kind of reward and one of the risk. And smart entrepreneurs always evaluate on that. So we'll do this 4-piece journey, and I will like to make it very, very interactive. So you can ask any questions on the Q&A box. So I see a lot of people raising hands. So use the Q&A box and ask your question. I'll start with first question I'll ask everyone. And please give me your answer. In what capacity you are joining in today's webinar? Are you a professional? Then write P. Just write P so we know that you're a professional, you're working somewhere. If you're a business owner, which means that you're running some form of business, write B. If you want to even define what business you're running, it will be great. If you are somebody who's a management consultant or some kind of a consulting experience, so you can be a coach, consultant, trainer, any kind of experience you have, you can write MC. Management consultant, MC for management consultant. And if you are in a career change, which means that now you're done with whatever you want to do, and now you're looking for a new career, right? Just C. 4 things: P for professionals, B for business owners, MC for management consultants, and C for career change. Go out and write, and I'll take some names just to welcome you also, and also define what you're coming. Sukhdev Singh is an MC, very close profile to what we are looking at. That's why I specifically asked if you are a management consultant. Welcome, Sukhdev. And if you can also share the city you're coming from. Manoj Lamba is a professional. A lot of professionals actually joined us in the COVID period because they felt they were not continue with their jobs and they wanted to really look at a career change. And they are very successful IFC partners with us. Mr. Kundu is looking for a career change. Abid Ali is business owner. Abid, if you want to tell me about a little bit about your business, it's complementing to what we do or not complementing. Rajesh is a C. So Rajesh, welcome. So a good time when you are in a career change, you're really evaluating, and this is what we do. We help people to make a very informed decision. So this is your time to really evaluate what you want to do next in life. Mr. Majumdar is a business owner. Rajesh is from Trichy, Tamil Nadu. Rajesh, you should be talking to Sakti, who looks after Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Mr. Angelo is from Mumbai. Grish is also C. Ramesh is an MC. So Ramesh, talk about a little more about yourself, what kind of consulting you have done, but as I said, it fits the maximum profiling because you understand consulting space. Kabir, business owner. Ravi Chand is again looking for a career change. Welcome. Narendra Gupta, welcome. He's a professional. Mr. Sarma, who's a learning and development. Yeah, learning and development in Guwahati. Again, a great market for us. Phenomenal market. Guwahati, we have sold, if not more, we would have sold like 250 franchisees. Rather, one of the companies we run is a laundry company. We run 16 franchisees in just Guwahati. I was surprised at seeing the growth. Again, the problem is, if you look at Guwahati, where is a job market there? There is no jobs. So if you want to make 1 lakh rupee or 1.5, 2 lakh, 3 lakhs, what would you want to do? You will have to start your own business. And if you start your own startup without any backing, it carries a lot of risk. So you choose franchise. So these markets are phenomenal for franchising because every home has somebody who's looking to start a new business or a career. So it becomes a very, very interesting market, especially in India. If you really leave 4 or 5 top cities of India, we don't create jobs. So you don't have a job in Guwahati, Siliguri, likes of them, but people have money and they want to have a good career. They want to stay there because they have their own comfort. They don't want to move to big cities, but they need new business opportunities. And older businesses are changing. The way older businesses used to run are completely changing into a new set of businesses, what I call the new age businesses. And this would continue to happen because this whole digital era would continue to disrupt the older style of doing businesses, and new businesses would come. That's great for our business because we always keep ourselves updated on what kind of businesses would be relevant now. Again, Rita, welcome. Again, a great profile. So business owner and trainer. We like trainer because trainers are great to communicate. They go across very well. And that's something which works in our business well, because every time when we are educating an entrepreneur in terms of what business they should do, that really comes very well. Abid Ali is from real estate. Again, good profile matching. Sukhdev Singh is from Chandigarh. It's my city, so I come from Chandigarh, but now I live in Delhi. and Mr. Majumdar is from Tripura. So good, very interactive audience. I see a lot of still people have not written because we have so many people who've joined in, and I would encourage others also to come in. So let's go back the 4 points which I said. The industry, which is very, very important, the problem solving it is doing, understanding what profile really fits in to become a right consultant in this, and finally do the risk reward parameters. So let's talk about the industry, which is the most exciting part when I started the career. And I was shocked when I used to live in US in late 90s. I read somewhere in the media there that franchising contributes 1/3 of American economy. When I say, it's a careful line to say because it's a $27 trillion economy, it used to say that every third dollar in America is spent on a franchise. So which means that you go eat out, you stay in a hotel, you ask for a doctor's appointment, you go, any services you take, anything we consume today, even in India, is actually coming from a franchise. I'll talk about a day which you start, right? So you start in the morning and get to your breakfast, and things you see on your table all are coming from franchise outlet, including the Amul butter you have or anything which needs to be done. So all the FMCG, the mother dairies, the Amuls and likes of them, they all are franchise businesses, right? Then you move out and your kids go to school. The school most likely they're going is all franchise. You go out and go to a gas station, get your petrol done from a petrol pump. It's actually a franchise. Then you hit with so many other businesses around you. You shop anything, you buy anything, you go to pharmacy, clinic, anything you consume, even a delivery boy which comes to your home, most likely is coming from a franchise company. All the delivery companies are franchise. Even the stuff they are bringing in, like the one of the biggest client for us today is Zepto, which is a quick commerce company. So whenever you're ordering to two franchisees, one the delivery franchise, and second is Zepto also is a franchise. So anything and everything, now you start thinking through that everything you consume today has some form of franchising in that. That brings me the first question to open up the discussion to understand this industry a little more. Tell me the brand which comes to your mind, which you think is world's #1 franchise brand. Use the Q&A box. I want to really trigger your thinking process. Give me the name of a brand which comes to your mind, which is world's #1 franchise brand. Why I ask this question every time to my audience is that I want to really open up your thinking that what is franchising doing. Sometimes you don't realize what is impacting you. So give me a name of a company which comes to your mind. And always the first answer Rajesh gave is the answer I get. Everybody starts with McDonald's, which is rightful. McDonald's actually really popularized franchising globally. It's known that wherever McDonald's entered, franchising really started happening. So it's true that McDonald's is a great company, but it is not the #1 brand. It's not the #1 brand when it comes to franchising. And I'll give you the answer which you will not guess. The answer is Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola is actually a franchise business. They franchise you the bottling and the distribution. So they have globally the franchisees who run Coca-Cola business. And it is the most biggest and the most powerful brand in the world. So you start understanding that the distillery you have or the Coke you have and many other businesses like that are franchised. So franchising is impacting everyone in everything you consume. Today, as we speak, it is $4.7 trillion industry. But the impact is much, much larger because it puts everything we consume into that framework. And this industry is not small. So $4.7 trillion, just by some people's layman understanding, if it would have been a country, it would have been the 5th economy in the world. India is $3.3 trillion as GDP, and 4.7 is a franchising. So it's much bigger than even Indian economy, which has already become the 5th economy in the world. So friends, it's a very, very large industry, and the impact it is going to create in a market like India is phenomenal. We are already second largest marketplace in franchising globally. While our ticket values are still low in franchising, but we are already the #2 market after United States by active franchisors in the market. We have about 12,000 active franchisors which are giving their franchise. And millions of people aspire to take a franchise. So this is a great industry. And if you're making a choice of joining franchise industry, not that I had an opportunity to be a pioneer in that, but I feel that time is now. What I did 25 years back is fine, but what would happen next 25 years is going to be phenomenal for this industry, because the affordability of people to start their own business, people's preference on business over a job has never been better before. Rather, Google now says that people search more finding a business than the job. So it's phenomenal. So everybody has a startup mindset. Everybody wants to do sometime in life their own business. And franchising is the best form of choosing and starting a business. So if you were looking at the industry, I can give you full marks and say, this is 100% tick, because this is the top industry one can choose from. And this also creates a phenomenal impact on our economy. If you look at Indian economy, about 70% of all businesses are service and retail, and franchising works in service and retail. I can tell you, if you walk into a shopping mall today and look around yourself, you find almost every brand which is franchising. Some brands would franchise from a unit to unit. Some brands would franchise from a multi-unit or an area franchise. Some would have a master franchise for India. So even from a companies like Reliance has both. Reliance is a master franchise for many, many companies, including 7-Eleven, the convenience store they brought in. So even a company as big as Reliance or a Tata are master franchisee for a lot of global companies, and they also franchise their own brands. So almost everybody in the marketplace is part of franchise. I mean, look at even groups which are very industrial groups like Adani. We work with Adani on their Adani Total business, which is their CNG business, which they franchise. So all the gas stations they create, are part of their franchise business. So franchising moves from a classic distribution, which we all know, to a modern business format franchising, which is like McDonald's, and anything in between. And with now technology and discoverability, brands are more known. So franchising is one of the industries which would continue to grow. It's already about a $75 billion in India, and it will continue to be a very, very large contributor for our economy. We feel that about 4% of Indian GDP eventually would be contributed on an immediate front by franchising. And I don't see this far that in maybe a decade and a half, this would start to 8-9%, very close to what real estate contributes to Indian GDP. So this is a kind of a marketplace you are really getting into. Now let's go on to problem solving. Now problem solving is very, very important to understand. Problem solving is, what are we trying to do? We're trying to bridge between these opportunities which are there. As I said, 12,000 brands are looking for millions of franchisees here. But how do they connect? How do we really bring these two people together, right? And it is impossible for brands to really understand India well. I mean, I'm a Delhi-based company. How do I find a franchisee in Kerala? And who's going to be my franchisee? And how do I get it? How do I profile it? How do I find it? Even the largest of the companies don't have that infrastructure to really do that. And similarly, for the franchisee, he doesn't want to go with one brand. He wants to evaluate many other opportunities, like what we do in real estate. So you all would live in, say, you're living in Delhi, you know DLF. But you don't go to DLF. You go to a property broker and say, show me around what are the properties available. And I then make a choice what property I want to buy. Similarly, person who's seeking a business wants to look at different opportunities before they make a decision on what opportunity they want to finalize. So our role becomes very, very critical. Very critical. On one side, we help companies reach investors. And the second side, make a lot of intelligence for these investors to really understand what opportunity you need to do. This is a phenomenal problem solving. We already have built economy scale. It's impossible, say for all of you who want to really become a franchise consultant, you don't join Franchise India and want to do it yourself. It's impossible to aggregate brands, right? How do you get 1,000 brands which would sign exclusive with you and say, we want to only work with you? Because of our size, experience, and structure, 1,000 over brands have exclusively signed with us and say, we will go with only with Franchise India to find partners. I mean, it can be the classic companies that the Batas and likes of them, or Raymonds, and it can be the new age Nikas and likes of them, which are coming to us. So we have a huge spectrum from investments going from as low as 5-10 lakh rupees and as high as maybe 100 crores. So that inventory is ready. So when you start with Franchise India, you get that inventory day one. So you are completely ready and you start representing those opportunities in your respective cities and even outside. The second part, which has taken about 400 crores of investment by Franchise India over the last 2 decades, is to build the brand equity among investors. So today I can bet, even if you go to Guwahati, which our friend was from there, and ask people around and ask business owners, and say, have you heard about a company called Franchise India? I'm sure they would tell you, because I would have done, if not more, maybe 40 shows in Guwahati alone. In a city like Guwahati, Franchise India have done about 40 shows. And every show we will get 300-400 people. We work with local associations. We do a lot of marketing and so on and so forth. So because of that equity which we have built, we have a huge credibility in the investor business, because investors trust Franchise India. While it's a responsibility, you cannot just take any investor to invest. We take them through a process which makes them intelligent what decision they want to do. And then we also tell them that go out and take your own advice. Talk to your lawyers, talk to your chart accountants, and then come in and participate. So it's a responsibility. But the problem we are trying to solve is phenomenal. And ask yourself, do you know any other consultant who's solving this problem or can solve the problem, right? So it's not that nobody is doing it, but it's impossible for somebody to really aggregate these two data banks, because this is a data bank which has taken us 25 years to aggregate. So that's the point number 2. So if you feel, do you agree with me? That's also a tick mark for you. The third is the most critical part. Critical is, are you right for this opportunity? Are you a consultant material? You are really somebody who wants to start your consulting business? But a lot of people like it. And because a lot of people meet me and say, you have a great life and you travel the world over and meet companies, spend times with these companies and so on and so forth. But I can tell you it's extremely demanding. It's a demanding. I'm sitting in London talking to audience in India, And in one single day, I'm all over the world and doing different discussions with different meetings and so on and so forth. And my day started in the morning very early in London. And I was talking to a client in Beirut, which is now looking to expand in different markets. So that's how consultants spend their time. They are great networkers, people who invest a lot on knowledge. You need to spend your day, and when you're finishing the day, you need to ask yourself, have I learned a new industry today? Have I learned a business model today? Have I understood or cracked a financial model today? So if you have these characters in you and you feel that you're a great people person, you are a great representative of opportunities, then this is right for you. Otherwise, you'll not enjoy it. And I feel that if you don't enjoy it, you'll never be a great consultant. You only have to be somebody who has passion towards advising somebody. You have sometimes DNA. I know a lot of people who become great consultants, and if you see, their pattern would be there in somewhere in their life. They would be doing the same thing when they were in school. They would be advising their friends, and people were trusting them. So you need to really find, do you have that DNA in you that you can become a great consultant? Because if you have that, then we'll bring everything else. We'll bring the great amount of training. I call the MOST, M-O-S-T. We will do the mentoring for you. We'll give you a lot of opportunities. We'll support you regularly through our cluster heads, working with you on different joint calls, proposals, and so on and so forth. And finally, we train you on different 8 modules. 8 modules, 3-day training. And every week, you have to come Monday, 8 o'clock on the Zoom call, Wednesday, 8 o'clock, and Saturday, 8 o'clock. That's compulsory. So everybody comes. And we do a lot of peer-to-peer learning and so on and so forth. So this is about the third thing, which I cannot decide for you, honestly. You have to decide for yourself. Is this for you? Is this something which you want to do? Is it what you're committed to do that? That's a point number 3. The point number 4, I can assure you, this opportunity, well, not that is coming from Franchise India, but you have to understand Franchise India sells multiple businesses and opportunities. If it would come from Franchise India, it has to be a top-class opportunity. Evaluate this opportunity on risk reward. I can bet that there's no other opportunity in the market which can come closer to it. From a risk reward opportunity viewpoint, there is no opportunity in the market, I bet that, which has come closer to it, because our business is different. There are 3 types of ROIs in the market. One ROI is return on investment, where you put money and money works for you, which means that I become a distributor for Patanjali. I have to buy a lot of product, I have to put in warehouse, more I circulate my money, more money I make, distribution margin I make. That's return on capital business. You don't do anything. Baba Ramdev does everything, but you just put the product in the market and make money on that, right? These are kind of return on investment businesses. But there are other 2 ROIs, what we do. One is return on intelligence. When you have intelligence to understand what would work, what businesses you want to take to the market, how do you attract the right investor? How do you counsel them to get investment done? That's all your intelligence. And second is return on involvement, which means that how involved you are. Sometimes I get scared to give my license to business owners because they're very busy. They're doing their own business and they come and say, oh, I can complement becoming an IFC, but they don't have time. They don't have time. They don't even follow up what way we give them, because we give them leads. They don't follow up. So I'm very conscious today who I want to really give this opportunity. Out of 10 applications we will get, I politely have to reject 8 of them because they don't have time. They are doing something else. I mean, a busy chart accountant comes to me, well, I have a lot of clients and I want to become your IFC. I say, sorry, but you cannot, because there would be months where you would not even look at what is going on, because that was time your balance sheets are filing and other things are happening. We don't want absentee partners. We want our partners who are super available. That's something which is very, very important. So friends, these are 4 things which I wanted to really take you through. Think over it. Think about the opportunity. Think about the problem solving. Understand yourself very closely, that are you a right consulting material? And fourth, I can bet you, if you evaluate this opportunity on risk reward with any other opportunity available in the market, there is nothing like that. So friends, I will like to leave you with this thought, because I have to rush for another meeting. But I wanted to attend this because I was told by the team that there are some good profiles which are coming and joining in. So I took an opportunity personally to come to address you and give you a little oversight on what is the opportunity. And now I'll pass it on to Sonia again, or another team members, which can run you through the presentation and show you how IFC model really works. What are the different tiers? We have made tiers. As you grow, you get into different tiers and become senior in your own respect. And that's what this opportunity is. So friends, thank you very much for joining in. While you continue with this webinar, I will have to excuse myself from here. And the next steps would be, once you have gone through this whole thing, talk to our regional teams, understand a little more, ask difficult questions to them. They would also ask you a lot of questions. And then there is an interview process. We will do an interview. And if you are selected, then you can become an independent franchise consultant and start a very successful consulting journey with Franchise India. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time today.
Friends, so we have a small presentation which talks about how to actually qualify to become independent franchise consultant. And I'll request Shakti to place that presentation on the screen. So I'd like to talk and maybe summarize, there, apart from, obviously there's a fee which we'll talk about, but outside fee, what are the criteria based on which we qualify a partner? And I would say these are all 7, not by order, but these 7 things are very, very important for us. All our partners who have been selected only on these 7 criteria. And first and foremost, I would say talent. And I think already mentioned, when we go, especially in tier 2 locations, talent is a very big problem, right? So you don't get the talent that you want. All our partners who have come on board with us comes with nearly 15 to about 25 years of experience, right? So talent is one big thing, which we actually a reason, why we wanted to, in fact, spread IFC distribution network. Second is consistency, right? So when I look at our IFC partners, many of them, and most of them, largely they're broken benchmarks, and they have an unlimited potential. They don't limit, them by a certain amount or a certain opportunity. So consistency is second thing. Third, which is very, very important, I would say, in any business, is integrity, right? So all our partners are people who are respected in their cities, and they would never advise anybody for the sake of earning maybe a few extra dollars. And integrity in our business is of paramount importance, because here we're not selling a product. It's a business which might change somebody's life. So integrity is third thing. And fourth is persistence, which is following up and, having a never give up attitude. I had partners who joined us, and they also had some months with no business, but they are some of my top performing partners in my network today. So persistence is a mindset that we would definitely, hold a big value for. Fifth is ownership mindset. And this is something which is critical. When I say ownership, this is one big reason also for franchising, right? So my franchising started because the company wanted somebody who was as big a owner as they were for the units they were running. So ownership is another reason we look at partners to come forward and partner with us. And sixth, which I started off when I mentioned, was knowledge. And I say we need people who come with a learner attitude, 365 days of learning, everyday learning, knowledge. And that is where the value proposition gets enhanced. And lastly is time. So we need to have partners who have at least minimum of 100 hours to invest in the business, because it is not a return on the investment, it is a return on the time business. So as much as time that you put in the business, proportionate to that is the return that you would get. And I'll request Shakti to take over now. Shakti, over to
you. Thank you, ma'am. Friends, here in the presentation, is the slide visible, ma'am?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Guys, this is the tablet we're talking about, where in the tablet, the first point is the technology. In technology, the CRM access is given from the brand, wherein you will be able to have the mail ID of Franchise India once you've been nominated to be part of our independent franchisee consultant. You will have our franchiseindia.in as the domain of ours, which you will be sending in official mails to people who are interested to be handholded in terms of their decision making in terms of franchisee taking. Then we've got access to our franchisee infrastructure. We have got about 96 branches of Franchise India stores, where in every branch you will be able to have the access to visit, be in office and take meetings in that office space. As Franchise India, over the years, we have acquired many brands to have our infrastructure franchisee expansion for them to scale up in different locations where they don't have their presence. You will have access to all the brands which we have signed up in terms of different locations and scalability. Then the lead support is minimum about 50 leads, which is guaranteed on every CRM access which is given to you. Previous to COVID, these leads were charged for about rupees 200 per lead. Post-COVID, this leads is not chargeable. It is given to all the IFCs free of charge. In terms of events, we do many events in terms of every location to identify the right partner in terms of taking the brand forward. So we've got the events happening. In all the events, you will be part of the event where there is no charge. You can participate the event, and then you can take a visit there. You can take the leads from there on. Apart from that, then once you join here, you are given a 3-day training program, which is done to you. On the last day, the training program is done by Mr. Gaurav Maria, our chairman. The other 2 days will be the vertical training, which is given to you on different brands, which is available with us. Okay. In terms of proposed structure of IFC, every IFC partner will have to join as an IFC basic, where from IFC basic, you move to IFC Elite, from IFC Elite to Pro, and then becoming a master. The difference between each of these segments is once joining in IFC, that is the IFC entry point, which you need to do. You need to do an revenue of 15 lakhs. Once you hit a revenue of 15 lakhs, you become IFC Elite. Then when you do a 50 lakh business, you become IFC Pro. And when you do a 1 crore business, you become an IFC Master. I'll just explain to you what is the difference in each of these segments. This is the structure difference. As you see, there is, which is mentioned in terms of products, there is IA, IS, BS, and BD, which is there. IA and IS is in terms of investor. One is investor acquisition, the other one is investor success fees. Then you have got BS and BD, which is in terms of brand. Once we onboard the brand, there is brand sign-up fees, and then there is a brand success fees. So in this, the payout for an IFC basic would be 40% to start with. In terms of an investor is being acquired by you. In terms of that investor which is acquired by you is being given service, they are signed up for a brand, that is IS. Then there is BS, which is a brand success fees. As I told you earlier, there is almost about 800 brands, which is currently on the mandate of expansion in Pan-India in different locations. So once we service those brands, that is BS. So that is 40%. So in terms of a basic, your IA, IS, and BS will be 40% to start with. When you become Elite, which is you do 15 lakhs of revenue that particular year, you get 50% of payout. Then your IFC Pro is 60% and Master is 70%. So this is the different classification. In terms of BD, which is business development, different local brands are wanting to expand further to different markets. So our expectation as an independent franchisee consultant is to get us leads, where once you give in the leads, we will start working with the proposal for the brand. We will do the meetings with them along with you. We will finalize in terms of what has to be the success fees, what has to be the sign-up fees. The sign-up fees for starting would probably be about 5 lakhs to 8 lakhs, depending on what is the business size of the brand and in terms of how many rollouts are they wanting to plan. So that will be the business development which we start with. Then in terms of leads, what is given to you is for an IFC basic, it is 50 leads, which is given to a person. Then it is a IFC Elite, it is 25% extra. Then IFC Pro is 50% extra, and IFC Master is 100% extra. This is the number of leads which is given to you. Then in terms of CRM ID, you talk about starting as 1. Once you keep moving to a different ladder, it will be the number of CRM IDs which is given to you. As discussed, all the support function is going to be given to you. In terms of your registration for an IFC would be 4.5 lakhs plus taxes. This includes your training program certification in terms of leads which is given to you. So this will be the one-time enrollment fees, post which we will be able to take it further. So in terms of our presentation, our panel list is here. So we will be able to take it forward. Each of them will get connected with you on a personal level to understand your requirement. Once we are like-minded, we will be able to take the proposal forward. So individual teams will directly discuss with you and take it up. So thank you for connecting for the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Shakti. Thank you all
Thank you.
for attending the webinar.